Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Charm. And this morning, we are very fortunate to have another budding action researcher in the person of a graduate student who is on her terminal year here at De La Salle University. She's a major in physics. She's been um, having this specialization since her undergraduate degree at the Philippine Normal University. And then she enrolled here at De La Salle University for her master's, which she also completed. And now she's on her last year as a PhD student. She, for her master's, and now I think she will continue in her dissertation project, she's been very interested in gamification. So she's going to share with us her experiences in the conduct of research relative to gamification. And I think she will also be discussing with us, sharing with us both the challenges that she has met and the successes that she has also encountered and experienced during the conduct of action research for this particular um, topic on gamification. So, ladies and gentlemen, my fellow action researchers, I'd like to give the room, the conference room to, ano na, doktor na ba sabihin ko? Hindi pa. Miss Annalyn Tolentino. Okay. Take it
Thank
away.
you. Okay, so good morning po sa lahat. I hope we are all in good condition. Lahat po tayo in the midst of the chaos. I hope may peace pa rin po ang lahat sa atin and we continue moving forward. Okay, so I'd like to know my audience po. Okay, so welcome again to one of the lecture series entitled Gamifying Online Classes in the New Normal. Okay, so this is Miss Annalyn Tolentino. Again, I would like to know who my audience are. And so I invite you to click on this link that we have on the screen. Okay, I'll be posting the link sa ating chat box in a while. Wait lang po ha. Copy-paste ko lang po siya. Okay. By clicking that link, you will be directed to, let me just type my notes. You will be directed to a page. Okay? If hindi nyo maklik po yung link na yon because you are using another device, I'd like you to go to www.mently.com and enter the code that we have on the screen. It's 9799636. Okay, wait po natin. Okay, so my first question is that I'd like to know your position in the academe. I'd like to know the percentage of professors here, teachers, educators. Okay, I'd like to know also if we have administrators here or if we have pre-service teachers who are soon to be joining us in the workforce, in the teaching field. Let's wait, give them some time. And wait natin po sila. We have at the moment 112 participants. So maybe they are still trying to get inside the mentimeter.com. Now this platform is an interactive page or platform, no, that can be used by video conferencing calls, video conferencing hosts, so that they could engage their audience sa interaction, sa discussion. This is one of the very nice platforms na pwede natin gamitin for our discussions. No, if you have watched previous lectures, okay, kung na-visit niyo po, kung subscriber na po kayo ng YouTube channel ng DLSU Leader, Then mapapanood nyo po doon ang maraming mga lectures on the technological integration. Mga platforms that can be used by educators. This is just one of them. Marami pong na-discuss na. Okay, so let's see. Okay, siguro mga 1 minute na lang. Yan, tingnan natin. Okay, so far 60 already keyed in their responses, but majority, I think, no, majority are teachers, professors, educators here. We have 4 administrators, so welcome po. This is a very nice opportunity po to be sharing to one another yung mga medyo alam po natin ng onte. Then we have 7 pre-service teachers. Welcome. You are very much welcome sa mga forums like this. So if you could attend yung mga future na mga talks pa, please do so. This happens every Monday at exactly 10 a.m. Okay, so ayan. Okay, so I think I'm gonna have to move to the next slide because at least we have an idea here. Majority are educators. Ayan, that's a nice thing. Okay, now next, I'd like to know, nag-answer na pala yung iba. I'd like to know your location, no? Where you are serving, where you are teaching. Okay, so far 30, 32 are from Luzon. Then we have 2 from Visayas, and we have 18 from Mindanao. Wow, that's nice. And we have 3 from overseas. Wow, this is a very exciting discussion. Okay, so majority, at least I have idea na majority mga taga Luzon, and hopefully meron tayong mga kababayan na makapasok dito from the places na na-flood, sayang naman. Or pwede naman po na i-share natin yung link ng YouTube recording. Yung mga talks po ay nire-record sa YouTube, and you can always revisit yung mga previous talks, and you can always be updated sa mga current talks. Okay, so next, let's go to the next. Tandaan ko lang po, baka nagugulat kayo sa sound natin. Wow, ang dami natin. Okay, so ang next part po natin is that I have 5 questions for everyone to answer. Okay? Okay, for everyone to answer. Okay, these questions will give me idea how much you know about gamification. Okay, so ready na po ba tayo? Naka-join na po ang lahat? Sana po na maka-join ang lahat, So, let's start. The first question, it says in here that you have to answer fast so that your score is higher. Okay, so ang score po dito depends on the accuracy and as well as the bilis, speed ng pagsagot. Gamification requires construction of actual games. Is it true or is it false? Wait lang, sorry po. Wala pong nakasagot. Meron na. Ayun, mabagal ang internet ko. Okay, so minority ang sumagot ng false, which is the correct answer. So later we'll find out bakit, Bakit kitang-kita dito ang schema. Okay, ang conception ninyo. That gamification needs programming ability kasi kailangan actual game. So tingnan na natin mamaya bakit hindi. But why is false the correct answer? Next question. Okay, bago tayo magpunta sa next question, we'll see the leaderboard. Ayan ang mga score. So again, yung mga score dependent on the speed ng pagpindot nyo. So pabilisan dito. At saka sa accuracy. Congratulations because the person on top is I don't know if it's Rain or Mr. Rain. Miss or Mr. Rain. But congratulations, Rain. You're the fastest. And accurate rin yung sagot. Okay, let's go to the next question. Lagyan natin ng konting tunog para exciting. Okay, question number 2. Ready na po tayo yung mga daliri natin. Bilisan po natin ang pagkakas namin. Okay, question number 2. What does the term XP in an online or offline gaming mean? In the gaming world, what does XP mean? Tignan natin kung sino mga nakakaalam. ng kahulugan ng XP pagdating sa gaming world, gaming language? You have 10 seconds. 6, 5, so may time pa kayong mag-isip. Time's up. Okay, may nagsagot ng experience. Ay, mabilis. Mabilis sa mga pangyayari. Ayun, binalik naman pala. But the correct answer is experience point. Check po yan, experience points. Very good. Ayan, yan ang kahulugan ng XP sa lengguwahe ng mga kabataan natin ngayon in the gaming world. Let's go to the next slide. But before we go to the next slide, let's see who's leading our scoreboard. Let's see kung na-maintain ba ni Rain ang kanyang posisyon. Aba, medyo nabago. Okay, very good. Si Miss Clarissa Romero this time tops our leaderboard. Congratulations! Okay, let's go to the next question. Ready na po ba tayo? Okay, syempre walang makakasagot. Nakamute kayong lahat eh. Question number 3. In a game setting, blank refer to the visual representations of the extent of achievement or progress. Is it badges, leaderboards, or rewards? Time's up. Let's see. The majority answered with leaderboard, but the correct answer is badges. Ayan. So, we'll see later anong kaibahan. What's the difference between the leaderboard and a badge? Okay, so let's go to our last question. But before that, let's see kung na-beat ba ang position ni Miss Clarissa Romero. Tignan natin. On top is okay, naiba na. This time, it's JM Carion. Congratulations. I think Mr. JM Carion. Okay, so let's see. Huwag tayong mawala ng pag-asa. Okay, we still have the last question. Tama ba? Yeah. Fourth pa pala. Fourth question. Sorry, we have last two questions. Okay, it refers to a scoreboard showing the names and current scores of the leading competitors in a game. Is it badges, leaderboards, or rewards? 3 seconds left. Time's up. Yeah, let's see. Majority answered with leaderboards. Very good, and that's correct. Leaderboards ang tawag natin doon. Okay? So, tignan natin kung anong nangyayari sa leaderboard natin. Ba't iba na ba ngayon? Okay, tignan natin. If JM was able to maintain, aba, JM is unbeatable at his top position. Congratulations, JM. Oh, galing. Gamer is or educator or administrator na to. Okay, let's go to the last question. The last question. Okay, last question. A button in the PC or mobile game that allows players to restart mission whenever they fail or get dissatisfied with the score acquired. This question is an unencoded answer type of question. Paki-encode ko, paki-type nyo kung na mabilis kasi papisan ko ito. Okay, the faster you enter your answers, the higher your scores. Okay, time's up. Yan, sa mga sagot nila, restart, reset, skip, reboot, retry. The correct answer is actually dalawa po yan. Reset o kaya restart. Sorry, hindi ko na-include ang retry kasi hindi siya kadalasan ginagamit sa gaming world. Okay? Okay, so reset and restart. Dapat na-check. We cannot use the word restart kasi nasa question siya. So, dapat careful tayo, no? Pag nasa question na yung word, it cannot be the answer. Okay, so let's see who finally made it to the final leaderboard. Tingnan natin. May pa-suspense. Wow! Congratulations, Miss Bato. Miss Millicent, you got 2,744 XP ano yung points dyan? XP yan. Miss Millicent or Miss Millicent, kindly send me your GCash later. Okay, so meron tayong sponsor ng pa-premium. Maliit lang, pang ano lang, pang ano ba? Pang ano tawag dyan? 12 ninyo. Maliit na halaga lang. Okay? So, congratulations to our winners din naman yung iba, no? So, yeah, let's go back to our,
Congratulations, Millicent.
So, that's Mentimeter. That's a very good platform para yung engagement ng mga estudyante natin habang naka-video conferencing tayo. At the same time, ay nagre-recite sila. Medyo may kahirapan po kapag papaon pa natin yung mic sa kanila kasi additional Mbps po ang kakainin nun sa ating data consumption. So magiging problema, yung iba pwedeng ma-disconnect because of that. Ayan. So let's go straight to our business. What is gamification? Alam ko na marami sa inyo, tulad nung sa first question ka sa ating short quiz, marami sa inyo, ang akala sa gamification is that it requires some programming ability. It requires na magaling ka sa IT, it requires na marunong ka sa computer ng lahat talaga. No, yung sobrang galing ka dito. Okay? And therefore, that's a misconception because gamification is actually as simple as what Starbucks and other companies, other businesses are doing. Okay? Kung ano ginagawa nila, that's gamification. And doesn't need any elaborate skill on programming. Hindi naman kailangan. Ang Starbucks, ang pinakamagandang example ng gamification. Hindi tayo aware, but we are being gamified by Starbucks. Paano yun? Diba? There was a time na Starbucks, meron siyang, for every 25 peso you spend on their mga kape, mga bilihin sa kanila, you get a star, 1 point, 1 star. And if you acquire 100 points, then it's equivalent to certain stuff, freebies nila. Okay? The mere incorporation of rewards sa business nila, it's actually gamification already. So, medyo ibababa natin yung ating conception ng gamification. Kayang-kaya po nating lahat ng educators ito. Kaya hindi po siya sobrang kahirapan. And this is not something new. Okay? In fact, 1873 pa nag-start yung gamification. But only, syempre, dun sa mga businesses siya talaga nag-start. Okay? And why gamification in times of COVID? Okay? Kasi online classes tayo ngayon. Ano pa? Modular learning. Okay? I know lahat po tayo ay nakakaranas ng difficulty on the part of the educators and on the part of the students. And one of the difficulties is motivation ng mga estudyante, ha? I hope hindi problema ng teachers ito. Okay? Motivation ang problema ng mga estudyante. Bakit? With all the distractions around. No? Nasa bahay ka, buti kung you have separate room. But if you don't have separate room, nandiyan at the background, maririnig mo yung ingay. No? Ano pa? Distractions yung mga laro, mga gadgets. No? Anong uunahin mo? Module mo ba? O gadgets mo? Na very inviting. FB, na very inviting also. And all other stuff. Ang daming gagawin. Pagkaklase ka, utusan ka. So, bottom line is, ang problema natin, major motivation ng estudyante. Because if the students are motivated, anumang distraction yan, uunahin niya yan. Okay? So, nakakalungkot nga. No? Sa DepEd, merong significant percentage ng hindi nag-enroll. It's so saddening sa akin, I hope sa inyo din. No, ako, I'm connected to an institution right now. Part-time lang po ako. Kaya, kalagitnaan na kami ng semester, merong mga umaalis pa, kalagitnaan na. And it's so heartbreaking. Because hindi nila kaya yung pressure all around, yung anxieties, no? Pero again, ang mindset ko, if that student is motivated enough, kahit anong pressure, kahit anong anxiety, kahit anong hirap mag-load o mag-module, Hindi yan give up. So I hope this talk would be able to encourage uh, kahit isa lang ma-encourage dito sa group of educators na to. I will feel very fulfilled, successful sa talk na ito. Ma-encourage sana tayo to have that burning passion to encourage our students to stay uh, in the course, stay on track, no? So paano yon? How do we do that? Okay, so tulad nga na sinabi ko, we'll do something about the motivation. Okay, because studies, maraming studies. Okay, two of the studies ay from Miss and Covington in the respective years of flashed on the screen. Sabi, motivation and academic achievement are highly correlated. What does that mean? A student who is more motivated, siya ay more has a higher tendency na mag-excel. Kung hindi yan motivated sa isang bagay, no, pwede pa rin mag-excel yan. Yung mga ganun, hindi motivated sa bagay, nag-excel out of compliance. But, no, more often than not, hindi mag-excel yan kung hindi siya motivated. Mag-excel yan kung motivated siya. Okay? So, next, this gamification, tulad ng nabanggit ko, it started off as a business strategy in 1896. Pero it became an official term only in 2003. Ibig sabihin, doon lang siya nag-start gamitin sa education. Sa business siya from 1896. Now, it became a common term only in 2010. No? From 2010 onwards, ayan, ginagamit na siya sa education. So, akala ng marami, prior to that, pang ano lang yan, laro-laro, yung mga games, mga marathons. Okay, now what is gamification? Let's have a clear definition of it. Okay, studies have defined it, no, several studies, but I like the definition by Werbach and Hunter in 2012. Okay, the study said that gamification is the use of game elements and game design techniques in non-game context. What does that mean? Any element ng game na gagamitin mo sa isang bagay na hindi naman game ang konteksto, no? Like business, education, okay, governance. Pag ginamitan mo ng gano'n, ng gamification, ay ng elements na yon or kahit isa lang, gamification na ang tawag doon. Now, let me make this very clear. Anong tawag ni Tolentino dun sa pag gumagamit ka ng laro para magturo sa mga bata? Like, for example, you use simulation from PET, yung PHET na website. When you use a game, an actual game, to drive the students to the lesson, to the insights of the lesson, ang tawag po doon ay game-based learning, game-based teaching. You are using the actual game to drive to a certain point, certain concept. But gamification is not like that. Mag-incorporate ka lang ng elements, okay, gamification na yun. Ano ba yung mga elements ng gamification? We have, of course, XP. Ayan. With XP, si mga gamers, they are excited about it. Bakit? Kasi with XP, sa totoong mga laro, ha? Kapag marami kang score, marami kang XP, you can buy stuff. Again, within the game setting, you can buy stuff, you can do this, do that, no? Marami siyang perks. Okay? Sa game, or in the gaming world, may tinatawag na leaderboard wherein you will be updated. Sino ba on the top 10? No? Sino ang first owner na ngayon? Ganyan. And then you will see kung saan ka, how you fare. Okay? Next, we have the badges. Okay, badges are visual representation ng degree ng progress mo sa laro. No? Kung ako ang, syempre ang edad ko, no? Ang mga paborito kong laro noon, yung bookworm. No, excited ako na mag-advance dun kasi merong tinatawag na mga book wizard. Ayan. Next level is book something. Basta nag-level up ka. Okay? So yan yung badges. Okay? Ano pa? Okay, ang pinakapatok, no, sa mga pinaka magandang feature ng game or element ng game is yung what we call replayability. Imagine kung ang mga laro online and sa PC, offline, mga laro, ay walang replayability. It wouldn't be exciting. No? So if there's a feature, replayability, whenever a player fails in a mission or is not satisfied with the score na nakuha na, all he has to do is to click on the button that says restart, reset, retry, di ba? Mga ganun. Yan yung mga patok na mga elements. And why gamification? Do we have basis? No, a solid basis ng paggamit nito sa classroom natin. No, gamification, according to Poole and Company in 2014, it's an effective tool for enhancing student engagement and learning. Mas marami kang ma-engage daw with the use of gamified instruction. Ano pa? It has a positive impact on class attendance. So, siguro sa study na to talagang nag-increase yung yung attendance ng mga estudyante nila, no? Okay? So, what else? It has a positive impact on student achievement and attitude. It doesn't just address what's inside the coconut shell. It also addresses what's inside the heart, no? The attitude. So, we'll see later kung talaga bang na-confirm ko ba yan. Okay? So, syempre, I have to be very honest with you. I also came across literatures that say the opposite. Merong mga negative feedback, negative criticism on gamifying classrooms or instructions. Sabi sa study ni Amrine and Birdsley in 2009, yung scores daw na nakukuha, hindi daw reflective of the true learning ng student. Hindi daw gauge ng true learning. So parang hindi sila makapaniwala malamang. So may statistical data silang nakita na gather that says hindi siya reflective. Okay, ano pa? That gamification leads to shallow learning. Okay? According to the study by De Marcos in 2016. Okay? Ano pa ang mga negative? Well, sadly, it increases competition, and thereby it harms motivation, according to Hanus and Fox in 2015. And the overall negative outcome daw siya, according to Buckley and Doyle in 2014. Yeah. Now, ayun, nakita natin na marami ka turn off sa gamification, including this one. Now, comparison often makes individuals aware of their lack of skill, status. So, napapag-depress yung iba daw. Okay? Or position relative to others. Very, very, anong tawag dyan? Kaka-turn off siya, right? Now, with all these literatures that I was able to gather, what prodded me to continue trying this out sa classroom ko way back in 2017? It is this theory, okay? It is this theory that says extrinsic motivators can be converted to intrinsic motivators if they are meaningful, pleasurable, and consistent with the person's worldview. Anong ibig sabihin niyan? According to this theory, self-determination theory, yung ino-offer ng gamified classroom or gamified setting na mostly, dominantly extrinsic. Ano ba yung extrinsic motivators? Ito yung mga external factors that encourage engagement, participation, excellence. So, kumbaga ay suhol para galingan mo, sipagan mo. So, mga extrinsic ito. In the educational world, in the academe, hindi natin masyadong anong tawag dyan, in-emphasize sa students na sila dapat mataas yung extrinsic motivation nila. We only use extrinsic motivation for a purpose. But it cannot be the very end itself. Hindi natin yan dapat maging goal na maging extrinsically motivated sila. Because they would be grade conscious, reward conscious. Pero this is what gamification offers, Ms. Valentino. So, how does this work? Yung sabi dito, if you carefully administer gamification, make it meaningful, make it pleasurable, make it consistent with the student's worldview, it will develop extrinsic motivators at the start. It will develop eventually to become intrinsic motivators. Anong ibig sabihin nun? In the long run daw, ang mga estudyante, they will become not anymore after the scores, the badges, the plus points, the grades. But in the end, students will become very much concerned with fulfillment, achievement, yung sense of achievement. It's something that comes from within. Yung nagpupush sa kanila to excel, to be responsible students, to be responsible learners, is something that's inside. So this really opened my eyes. Sabi ko, I want to try this. No, I want to try gamification, although there's risk. I want to try it because of this. So I tried. Okay? I tried it with my students during that time. Ang hawak ko yung mga problematic. No? Kasi there's a huge, hindi naman huge, there's a significant percentage na dropout. Medyo, dun sa school ko, compared to other schools, public schools, ay medyo mas marami kami kinikater na mga nag-dropout, mga nag-repeat, ano pa, mga balik-aral, no? Yung mga halos malapit na yung age sa mga, well, yung anong banggitin. So may problema. So gano'n naman ang rational ng action research, di ba? You identify a problem and then you think of a solution. So nung time na yon, 2017, sabi ko, ito problema ko. Anong gagawin ko? Nakabasa ako ng ganitong literature, nabasa ko tong theory na to, so I might as well try it. So I did try it with my students. Kaya tinawag ko siyang reformatory setting because my end goal was to somehow do some reforms in their motivation and in their achievement performance. So how did I do it? First, of course, the preliminaries. Alam natin yan. We have to get permits to conduct study. The letter of assent, the letter of consent, etc. And then of course, in a gamified planning, you have to draft the course outline. Although, of course, DepEd, I was connected with DepEd noon, I had to obey. I had to comply with the minimum learning competencies. I had to comply with the standards ng DepEd noon. Wala akong binago. What I did was just, I added, enhanced, enriched kung anong existing. Okay, grade sheet, wala akong binago sa grading system. And that's what I suggest also to you. Okay, you abide by the institutions you are teaching, the rules in there. Okay, pero kaya pa rin incorporate ang gamification. Okay, so yan. And then next, of course, yung pinaka-importante, before you start gamifying your instruction, you have to be able to conceptualize a very good storyline. A story that would get the attention of the students at the first meeting, of sa start pa lang, sa orientation mo pa lang, talagang engage mo na sila. And how did I do that? I made use of this. I told my students, okay class, this is how we're going to do our grading, fourth grading kasi in-apply ito. We will have a gamified fourth grading period. Okay, ang mga performance grades ninyo will be different. Yung written grade ninyo, kasi DepEd, ang grading system, performance, written, tapos merong quarter exam, di ba? 40, 40, 20. So performance lang ang ginamify ko. Hindi ko ginamify yung written, yung mga major exams nila. So sabi ko, all of you will start from zero, from scratch. You need to be able to get 10,000 XP, or experience points. So in-explain ko sa kanila what experience points are. Kailangan kayo maka 10,000 so that I could consider you as applicants. Diba sa totoong buhay, in a business setting, in a corporate setting, bago ka ma-entertain na aplikante, dapat may resume ka. So dapat meron ka minimum set of qualifications. Dapat meron kang nakasulat doon, may content yun. So sabi ko, kailangan nyo mo earn yung 10,000 points. And if or when you reach 20,000 points out of the activities that I will give you, I will consider you as trainees already. Pasok na kayo sa kumpanya ko. Yan, ganyan ko sila i-orient. No? Pasok na kayo. And then, ang goal ninyo is to be promoted to lab technician, apprentice inventor, etc., until you get to reach the boss level. Kasi sa time ko, mga laro nun, kapag last level na, boss level ang tawag. Hindi ko alam ngayon, ewan ko sa mga kabataan ngayon. Okay? So, chief scientist level, kailangan ma-reach nyo to. Sabi ko sa kanila, kailangan nyo ma-reach ng chief scientist Because these levels have each has corresponding performance grades. So, kung applicant ka at tinamad ka na, well, ang grade mo sa performance, 55%. Sa column mo sa grade, 55%, 40% na nakukunin. So, pwede kang huminto. Sabi ko sa kanila, pwede kayong huminto anytime you want, at any level you want. But the thing is, yung performance grade nyo ang maapektuhan. So, if you want higher performance grade, well, you better be working working hard towards it. Okay, so yun yung aking storyline. Okay, ano pa? You have to come up with some sort of a badge collection sheet because I was implementing this sa public school. So I had to provide them this. Piniprint ko yan, tapos binibigay ko sa kanila, binibigyan ko sila ng folder para hindi na maayos naman. So inside the folder, you'll find something like this individual student as this. And then ipopost nila dyan, i-stick nila dyan, yung binibigay ko na hard copy din talaga. Okay, na naka-print sa photo paper. So, badges. So, kapag naka 10,000 applicant, etc., ayan. So, I had to make sure that the badges are attractive enough. Okay? Ayan. And then also, I gave them extra bonus points. Okay? So kapag halimbawa yung mga problem solving nila ay neat ang pagkakagawa, organized, walang bura-bura, 500 XP. And then kapag maaga silang nag-submit earlier than the deadline, then 500 XP. Yan. Yan yung aking mga pakulo noon. Okay, next. How do I go about it in a face-to-face setting? Kasi 2017 yun, no? Face-to-face. Ganito mangyayari dyan. Dinidiscuss ko yung activities na papagawa ko. Generally, after kong mag-lecture yon. So after mag-lecture, didiscuss ko itong gagawin niya sa mga activities. Activity 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? We will call them, each of the activity will be called test 1, test 2, etc., etc. Okay? And then uupo sila, gagawin nila yung una, syempre, quest 1. And then kapag natapos na sila, any group that finishes, okay, goes to the front, to Miss Talentino, and ayun, yun ang medyo taxing sa panahon na yun, nung panahon na yun. Binibilisan ko, chechikan ko yun. Okay? Chechikan ko siya in a very fast manner. Okay? Pero may accuracy. So, chechikan ko, and then papakita ko sa kanila yung score na. Okay, if this is the score that you obtained. So, are you satisfied with this score? I make them decide. Kapag sinabi nila, miss, sobrang baba pa. Okay? If they are not yet satisfied, then they have the chance to sit down. Pwede nilang ulit-ulitin yung ganung proseso as long as hindi pa deadline. Walang deduction pagka, madaming trials, walang deduction yon. Okay, so ganun siya. Okay, so simultaneous ang checking and quest proper. So what happens if halimbawa na satisfied na tong grupo na to? Okay, pwede na silang pumunta sa second quest. They can proceed to the second quest, third, etc., etc. So what happens practically is that the students have basically iba-ibang pacing nila. They work at activities at their own paces. For as long as hindi pa deadline, ay pwede silang umulit. Ayan. So what happens to the lesson plan? Kung high school ang kinikater ninyo, walang difference naman eh. There's only a slight difference. Okay? Parehas lang yun. The content, the structure, wala kang babaguhin. Ang babaguhin mo lang is the planning, scheduling. Okay? So, paano yung planning, scheduling na yun? Kasi halimbawa, inanote mo lang. Since the class is undergoing a gamified instruction, they may submit accomplished worksheets, within the schedule provided. They may individually line up. So, yung basically sinabi ko kanina, ang pinaka-importante dyan is that you indicate the students can redo the tasks. No? Our administrators have to know what gamification is, how we gamify classes. Make sure that we do not violate any of the institution's rules on the instruction delivery. Okay? So, wala naman na-violate dyan. Okay? You ask permission naman in the first place. Okay, so next. So, ayan. This is the sample course outline that I used para sa first grading, wait lang. Fourth grading ito, I think. So, grade 10 ata ito. So, what we have to look at here is ito. Okay, from June 5 to 13, students, okay, have the opportunity to work on the following 6 activities. So ilang ano yun, ilang days yun. Okay? So ulit sila ng ulit hanggat ma-satisfy sila sa score na nakuha nila hanggat hindi pa naman deadline. And those who submit prior to the deadline gets 500 XP. So andyan din yung schedule ng test nila for every module that we finish. Meron kaming post-test. Bago ang next na module, I give them pre-test. This is for the quantitative data part ng data ng aking research. Okay, so next. So example activity sheet sa module ng DepEd noon. So basically yung gagawin niyo, makadali lang, ilalagay niyo lang ng mga points. You will allot points. No, so wag niyo isipin ng gamification. It has to have the help of IT professionals. Hindi kailangan yun eh. Although you can ask for help from them. Okay? So ayan lang, mag-aalat ka ng points. Ano pa? Okay, on a weekly basis, I ask them to write journals. Doon nila sinusulat yung saloobin nila, perceptions, mga apprehensions nila, kapag may dayaan, dyan rin nila sinusumbong. Ginamit ko yan para sa aking qualitative part ng aking research. Okay, dyan din, once a week din, nagbibigay ako ng budgets. Congratulate ko, okay, these are the people, pinapaline up to sell. These are the people who made it to the lab technician position. Congratulations. Yeah. And then, may physical leaderboard ako. Piniprint ko yung leaderboard in several pages ng one paper. Pinopost ko yun so that we could congratulate yung mga top 10, no? And this is how my leaderboard looked like in 2017. So may ranking, may score, may name sila. And ang pinost ko noon, the first time I did it, I think hindi siya top scorers. Ang tawag doon ay top gainers. Anong ibig sabihin doon? Ang nandito, hindi yung may pinakamatataas ang score. Sila yung may pinakamatataas ang increase from last week's score to this week. So, napakaganda opportunity ko para encourage yung mga estudyante na hindi ko pala kailangan akong pinakamataas. Kailangan ko lang pinakamalaki ang increase ko. So, gagalingan ko. So, yan yung benefit niyan. Now, I also post the leaderboards over social media. Ayan. So, makikita nyo dyan, no? Yung mga estudyante. Tinatag ko sila. Tapos, ayan. Okay. Haha, nice. Naka-rank 10. Ayan. See what it does to the students, confidence. Ma'am, kailan kaya malilista name ko? Sabi ng isa dito. But I see a spark of motivation dyan. Somehow nag-aspire siya. And then, ang pinakamagandang portion dito is when students' relatives get to see their names on the leaderboard. Ayan, talaga namang halos halikan ako ng mga estudyante. Miss, binigyan ako ng mama ko ng ganito kasi pinost mo, nakita niya, ganyan, etc. Okay. So, ito naman, class progress chart. Sa loob ng classroom ko lang to pinopost. They have their student numbers. Makikita nila yung comparison ng performance nila over the entire class performance. So, ako ba'y nakukulelat na? Ako ba'y magmamadali na? Ako ba'y magsisipag na? Nahuhuli na ako, etc. Yan. Okay. The summary of the findings. Yon. Sadly, I was not able to get a statistical data enough to conclude na it had really positive effect on motivation. Statistically speaking, hindi siya nakapag-cause ng increase ng motivation sa mga estudyante. Pero hindi ako nalungkot because I have the qualitative part at yung quantitative part. I have the qualitative part dahil in-interview ko sila, pinag-journal ko sila. Doon sa journal, when I categorized them, when I coded all the entries that they put in there, ito yung mga magagandang bagay na nakita ko. Sabi ni marami, exciting, as a very high percentage said efforts are recognized. Kahit maliit na effort na recognize na rewarding, nagbabago yung attitude nila towards learning, motivating, nawala daw yung fear in making mistakes. Siyempre nga naman, kung bibigyan ka ng chance to move over or to go over your responses, ayusin yung mga pagkakamali mo. Isn't it a fun thing to do, something good, no, to look forward to. Okay? Pero syempre, meron ding mga negative akong nakuha. Merong mga nagkaroon ng negative attitude towards competition. May mga na-stress po, mga kaguruan. May mga estudyante, hindi nila gusto yung ganun yung ka-action na classroom. Negative yung attitude nila. Ayoko nang ganito, miss, yung mga ganyan. Yan. Meron din naman na ingayan. Siyempre nga naman, halimbawa, dito sa activity, meron nag-activity 1, dito activity 2, 3. Iba-iba yung ginagawa nila. Tapos, syempre, yung atmosphere is very competitive. No? Bilisan natin, ayusin natin yung sagot natin. So, medyo maingay yun. And considering classrooms ng public schools, no, majority, medyo hindi kalakihan. Okay? Not appealing for non-gamers. So, may mga na-turn off na mga totoong gamers. Yung mga patikang mga naglalaro sa computer. Ayan. Hindi ko gusto yan, miss. Hindi naman yan game eh. Mga ganyan. Yan. So, nakakuha ko ng ganon. Iyan. Okay? Ano pa? Observers ko na educators, so I allowed educators to observe how I did it also. Sabi, there's a need to control cheating. Imagine ikaw nag-check ka and groups are working on different stuff. Pwedeng wala kang control eh, no? Pwedeng may nangyayaring dayaan doon. Nagkukopyahan. Sa totoo lang, hindi mo control. Okay? So admit ko 'yun. Ito yung isa sa mga loophole na nakita ko sa gamification. Nakahirap kontrolin. Okay? So gamification in a classroom is not appealing to gamers talaga. So yung binanggit ko na. And ayun, sadly, may mga nag-develop ng extreme grade consciousness. Like, may nagsabi, miss, iba, yan may sumilip sa answer ko. Bakit mas mataas pa siya? Mga tipong ganyan na mga ano ko. No? Ka-stress na mga bagay. Okay? So, sa motivation medyo hindi tayo nakakuha ng ebidensya na mag-motivate talaga siya, no? Pero panalo naman po sa student achievement, no, sa performance. Because yung quantitative, yung mga data ko prove na nag-increase ang performance nila sa written examinations. Mas maraming natutunan yung mga estudyante ko. No? And this is a good thing. Okay? So, anong nangyari? 2017 yon. So, anong nangyari? Did I stop? No, hindi po. I was transferred to different grade levels. Grade 9, nag-grade 9 ako, nag-grade 7 ako. Ginamit ko lahat yan. Ginamitan ko lahat yan. Until in 2019, I entered a private university. Tinry out ko siya. Sabi ko, ma-motivate din kaya? Kasi doon sa mga, previous ko, na-motivate na eh. Nakakuha na ako ng statistical evidence na, it's causing a significant increase in the student motivation. Paano kung sa college? And so, with the help of my friend, classmate in the PhD class, Christina, si Kring, shout out daw. Andito siya. With the help of my friend and colleague at the same time, nung time na yan, we did it with our classroom, with my college students. No, ang aming population consists of engineering students and IT students. Okay, we did gamify our physics instruction. Okay, and anong kaibahan? Siyempre, it's useless kapag inuulit mo lang inuulit ang action research mo without you modifying things. Ang action research works like this. May natuklasan kang loophole, setback, the next time that you will use the same technique, the same approach, ilagyan mo na ng intervention. Ganyan ang idea ng action research. It's really making you better as a teacher. It's making your practice, no, improve better and better talaga. So anong ginawa ko noong 2019? Sabi ko, ang i-address ko naman dito, gusto ko ma-address yung cheating. Ano pa? Gusto ko i-address yung hirap ng pag-check. Imagine, 10 klaseng estudyante ko. Ilang quiz yun? How do you expect teachers to do that? But thanks to integration of technology, because of this platform, may natuklasan kaming platform, okay, na ang pangalan ay Canvas. in structure. Okay, it's on the lower right corner of my screen. Canvas in structure is a learning management system na free. Wag po kayong matakot, free po siya. Although, kung gusto niyo yung mga mas bongga niyang features magamit niyo, pwede kayong mag-subscribe. Magbayad kayo monthly or annually. Pero ako, nakakadalawang taon na ako, free lang. Sapat naman na siya sa pangangailangan ko bilang guro. No? Unless the school provides, no? May school akong napuntahan na nag-provide ng unlimited features niya. Napakaganda niya. Kaya lang ang problema dito, this does not have a video conferencing feature. So, pang-exam po siya. So, anong basically pwede magawa sa Canvas Instructure? Basically, you can post announcements, create classes. Kung 10 klase mo, create ka ng classes dito na makikita yung bawat announcement mo ng specific class. Ano pa? Pwede kang gumawa ng module dyan. Pwede kang gumawa ng, yung halimbawa, gusto mo asynchronous teaching ang gagawin mo. Pwede kang maggawa ng module dyan, yung babasahin nila. Doon sila sasagot. Okay? Habang ikaw ay you take time off to check yung mga mga checkables mo, no? So, ano pa? Dito, it automatically scores quizzes. Yan ang mga napakaganda dito. No, na-minimize niya yung hirap ko sa pag-check. Okay? It automatically scores quizzes. And you can actually make variety of quizzes. Iba-ibang klase. You can actually make quizzes. Yung tawag ko nga pala sa mga quiz, ay quest, mga activities. Okay, you can make quizzes that are problem solving. No? Andyan yung question. Ay, tulad nito, nasa screen. All they have to do is to encode in here sa answer box yung answer na na-compute nila. Pwede mong lagyan ng time element to. No? 15 minutes lang. Ayan. Tapos ayan, ang mahalaga dito is that you allot the number of XPs na automatic i-record ng Canvas system. Next, pwede ka rin gumawa ng multiple choice questions dito. Ayan. And then again, automatic. Ayan. Okay. And how did I minimize cheating using this platform? Okay? Well, eto po ang magic dyan. May tinatawag na view log. In a while, I'll show you what clicking this view log can do. Okay? This is a heaven sent for me. Okay? Ano pa? Ang pwedeng gawin sa quizzes in this platform, pwede mo siyang gawing replayable. Pwede mo siyang lagyan ng replayability feature. No? Lagyan mo ng multiple attempts. Sa klase na to, I gave them unlimited attempts. Unlimited, pero for a specific amount of time. Okay? So, para mas maintindihan niyo ako, let's go to the web page mismo. Sa platform mismo. So, let me just go to the dashboard here. Nakikita niyo pa rin po ba ang screen ko?
Yes,
Hello?
we can.
May mapabuba ko?
Yes.
Ayun, okay. Thank you po. Sorry po. Hindi ko masyadong nadidinig. Okay, so lalakihan ko lang po. This is Canvas dashboard. Lakihan ko lang po ng onte ha. So I have 10 classes tulad ng sinabi ko. Okay, presently I have 10 classes. Okay, one of them is a physics class. So let's click on that. Okay, ito ang maganda po. Pwede nyo lagyan ng announcement, assignment, discussion, yan. Then quizzes, yan, let's click on this. You can set the quizzes depending on the setting you want. Like for example, here, you can set the number of points. Hindi naman 100 items to, pero 100 points ang equivalent ng number of items. Ngayon, ano pa? Okay, ang time limit is 150 minutes. That means when the student logs in, okay, mayroon siya, bibilang yung oras ng 150 minutes automatically, mag-score na yon, automatically mag-close na yon. Okay, multiple attempts for the replayability feature, so for 150 minutes nga lang. Okay, and then automatically, you can set Canvas to record the score which is highest. Pwede rin naman na yung score na i-record is yung latest, pwede rin namang average, pero syempre, di ba sa gamified setting, highest naman talaga yung applicable dun. So, ayan. So you can set the date kung kailan nila pwedeng i-open. So hindi kailangan naka-online pa rin dito sa Canvas during the time na kailangan silang naka-online. And then, ayan, they can do stuff there at their own paces, except for the scheduled ones here. Okay, so let's go to let me show you yung feature ng Canvas that helps me eliminate, hindi naman eliminate totally, somehow minimize yung cheating. Kasi problema natin yan, di ba? Ngayong online ang mga examination, okay? Napakahirap. Sa puso ko talagang lumalaban eh. No? Yung puso ko na, i-record ko ba ito, score na ito? Paano kung ginugol ng bata ito? Yung mga ganyan. Pero sagot yung aking fears, na-eradicate yung fears ko ng Canvas. Because kapag kinlik ko, sorry. Okay, here, okay, in front, no, on the screen, we have a student. Wag nyo na lang tignan yung name for privacy reasons. Okay, the student, students' answers to each and every question, ayan, nakikita ko siya. You can visit yung mga answer sheets nila. Ngayon, ang estudyante kong ito ay tatlong beses siyang sumagot. Ayan. Okay, tatlong beses siyang sumagot. And the highest score na nakuha niya was yung sa last, 90 points. Yun ang na-record. Ayan. Yun ang na-record. Nakikita dito yung time kung anong oras siya pumasok sa exam. Okay? Kung anong oras niya sinubmit. And I can click on this log. Pag kinlik ko yung log na yon, this will bring me here. Ito ang pinaka-paborito kong feature dito. Ayan. Dito, sinasabi, pinapakita what time, specific time, starting from the time na nag-login sila. Okay, like for example, here, 7 seconds after niyang pumasok sa exam, after niyang mag-start ng exam, 7 seconds, nag-answer na siya ng number 1. After 13 seconds, nag-answer siya number 2, etc., etc. Kaya lang, after 1 minute and 20 seconds, stop viewing. Kaya pag nag-stop viewing, mag-e-X yan, at mag-check ulit yan pag bumalik ang bata. Anong interpretation ko doon? Marami. Depende kung gaano katagal siyang umalis. Like for example here, 30 seconds. Okay? Anong pwedeng nangyari? Well, pwedeng ang bata, kinopy yung tanong, copy, tapos pinost sa Google, hinanap yung sagot. Umalis siya sa page na yon, si Canvas, ire-record niya. Umalis tong batang to. Then after 30 seconds, bumalik siya. Yung ganito, pinapatawad ko pa to, 30 seconds. Kapag umabot ng 1 minute, ayun. Lalo na kung lumampas ng 1 minute. Nagtagal. And alam nyo ba, kapag ang gamit nila ay cellphone, pwede din ma-detect kapag sila ay nag-open ng messenger chat head habang nag-e-exam. Di ba may mga, pwedeng gawin ng mga bata yun, mag-sharean sila ng sagot, o ito sagot dito, o ito sagot dito, sa group chat nila. So, ang gagawin ni Canvas, i-record, ina-exam niya pa rin yun. And that's what I love so much about this. Iyan. But of course, may mga dapat tayong i-consider na exceptions to the rule. Like for example, na-brown out. Sinasabi ko sa mga bata, the problem is not you leaving the quiz page, but because of the internet connection, screenshot mo agad. Kasi pag nawalang internet, ino-notify sila sa cellphone nila or laptop, computer nila na internet disconnected something. So ano mangyayari? Screenshot nyo, send nyo sa akin agad. So that kapag may X akong makita, i-connect ko ang message mo sa akin, may paliwanag ito. Okay to. Legit to, legit. Scores will be recorded. Pag may X na ganyan at hindi ka tanggap-tanggap yung reason, hindi ko nire-record yung score. Yung susunod na score, yung lower, ang nire-record ko. At alam ng mga bata ko yan. Okay, etong bata kong to, I think, internet connection tong, nagbigay naman siya ng proof. Okay, but this really gave me a lot of ease in administering examination. Okay, so ayan, so yan yung mga ginawa kong bago, implemented na bago nung college na ang hawak ko. Ano pa, syempre, ibahin ko na yung mga badges ko dapat, medyo akma na sa edad nila, sa level nila. But of course, paborito ko yung storyline kong yun, hindi ko yung binabago. Okay, so favorite ko siya. Ayan, and then next, progress chart, ganun pa rin. Kaya lang this time, code name na ang pinagamit ko. Mga kuleya na to, mga na to, medyo nakakahiya kung pangalan ang ilalagay natin, ma-humiliate na yung iba. Okay, so ayan, yung mga code name nila, then scores nila, ayan. Na-excite pa rin naman sila. So, ano ang aking nakuha na result dyan? Well, lahat ng aspect ng motivation nag-increase. Intrinsic motivation, nag-increase namin, na tinest namin ni Miss Green. And then self-efficacy, ano pa, nag-increase din ng self-determination. Nag-increase din ang grade motivation, nag-increase din ang career motivation nila because of the gamified setting. Overall, gamification had positive effect on students' motivation towards learning physics. We were so delighted with the result that Miss Kring, no, one of the participants in here, shared this abroad. No, bago po magpandemya, na-share niya po ito in an international conference. That's the perks of action research. No? Sinolusyonan mo na yung problema mo sa classroom, aba nakinabang ka pa kasi pwede mo siyang share abroad. Yung hanap ka nga lang ng institution that could fund yung pagpunta mo doon, or kung well off ka, kaya naman ng budget mo, go. No, kaya lang medyo pahinga tayo ngayon kasi may pandemya. Okay? And may I take this opportunity to invite those who are interested. Ang DOST po nag-o-offer for masteral and doctoral ng scholarship. You can contact me po via Facebook or email po, later bigay ko po, so that I could help you, assure you sa proseso. I-refer ko po kayo sa aming secretary sa DLSU, secretary ng DOST, director also. Okay, so yun lamang po ang aking sharing. I hope hindi naman po kayo masyadong na-bore, no? And sabi ko nga, sana ang motivation nating mga teachers, lalo na ngayong napakahirap na mga panahon, is that whatever we do, whether in word or deed, we do it all in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ. Kapag ang motivation natin, ayan, intrinsic po yan. Intrinsic, magtatagal po tayo. Kahit anong dumaan ng mga pagsubok, mananatili po tayong nakatayo because our motivation is intrinsic. So, thank you po for listening. Let the passion for teaching spur on, na in the midst of the pandemic. Okay, so thank you po for listening.
Thank you very much, Ma'am Annalyn Tolentino, for that very interesting, insightful sharing of your experiences in the use of gamification in teaching physics. So right now, I will be asking you to post your questions in the chat box, and I will be helped by Dr. Aguha in reading out your questions. So kindly use the chat to write your questions for Miss Annalyn, Ma'am Annalyn. So Dr. Aguha, do you have?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you read that out for Annalyn?
Okay, this is from, pero parang ano na ito, nasa,
Anyway, just read it out.
okay, that's right. I just would like to read the question from Jenna Ray Baring. How can you control cheating if students uses two devices?
Okay, so naisip ko na rin po yan talaga, no? How do we control? Actually, sa totoo lang, yung last na cycle ko, that was done late of 2019. Kaya nga po, naitok namin siya nung January 2020. So, ibig sabihin po, yung pong issue na yan, hindi pa po namin nagagawa ng intervention, naiisipan. So, siguro, after the pandemic, or during the pandemic, mapag-isipan namin ng intervention yan. At the moment, hindi pa namin na-solusyonan yan. Maybe an IT expert could help us with that. But right now, we do not know yet how to address that.
Okay, thank you, Annalyn. Next.
It's another question from, not a statement and a question. Ayan Liwanag. Hi, Ma'am. Thank you for sharing your study. Learned a lot from your gamified system. I'm also practicing gamification, and I'd like to clarify po what you meant when you said there's no significant increase in motivation. In your cycle 1, when I determined motivation, it's a shift from one kind to another, example, from high extrinsic to intrinsic, or from a motivation to extrinsic motivation, etc. Will you be kind to share po how you quantified motivation and how the increase is measured?
Okay po. Ang significant increase po will be determined by your statistical tool. Kung yung statistical tool na ginamit mo, nag-produce siya ng resulta, ng value that's meritorious to a significant increase, yun po yun. Like for example, yung first cycle ko po, t-test po. Paired t-test po ang ginamit ko noon. So yung may value, certain value number po na nakuha ako out of the statistical analysis. Yung value pong yun sa classification ng mga values, no? If you know statistical measurement tools, hindi po siya pasok do sa para ma-consider na significant increase. No? So, ang pinakamadaling explanation pong yun is that hindi ako nakakuha ng ebidensya, statistically lang po, na yung gamification has a positive effect on motivation. Although, yung qualitative part ng study ko, yun ang sumalo ng problema na yon. Kasi sa qualitative nakita, merong mga estudyante individually, mga group of students, na nag-increase yung motivation. Kaya nga lang, kapag isinamarize mo statistically yung improvement na yun sa motivation ng lahat, hindi po siya sumapat para sa standard na significant increase. Ganun po yan.
Follow-up question, Annalyn.
Sige po.
Aside from comparing the gain score, which is the difference between the post-test and pre-test in terms of their motivational level, did you do some effect size calculation?
Ito po yung problema ko nung unang hindi ko po yan nagawa. Pero dun sa mga succeeding nagawa ko na po. So yan po yung medyo naging loophole ko nung unang implementation ko.
But if the data is still around, you can compute.
Balikan mo.
Compute for Cohen's D and Hedges G. Kasi baka yun ang magbigay ng statistical evidence. Kasi hindi ka nag-compute, nag-t-test ka lang eh.
Opo.
So I suggest that you go back. Kasi
Data.
you will be presenting again eh. So makita mo naman yun. You look at the effect size also. Not just the t-test.
Sige po.
Baka may makita ka. Kahit ano. Kasi malaki naman yung, nakita ko yung table mo kanina. Meron namang significant changes. Although statistically it might not be enough because you also have to consider the sample size. So siguro again in another forum, baguhin mo yung ano na yon, yung point na yon kasi
sige po.
para hindi naman this is what action research is. You can always go back and recompute as long as the data is still available. Just a suggestion.
Apo, well taken po.
Okay, so here's from Alvin Insorio. A question on what extraneous variables did you control to secure that your intervention really affects the performance of your students?
Well, the teaching strategy had to be all lecture. No, so yung mga factors like teaching strategy, ano pa ba? Kinontrol natin yung type of assessment na bibigay sa kanila. Kinontrol natin yung minimize ko yung mga what do you call that? The use of technology. I had to minimize that kasi pwedeng maging yan ang pag gumamit ako ng masyadong maraming technological integration sa kanila, baka yun ang makapag-increase kaysa yung motivation ko. So yung mga yun po.
Okay. Yeah.
So another from Aldrin Jan is Nanto. How do we make sure that it was gamification that affected positively to learning of students?
Tulad po ng sinabi ko, yun nga, you have to do some statistical measurement. You have to use tools. Meron po akong ginamit na instrument na pang-measure ng motivation para malaman mo kung talagang motivation nga yung na-increase. Meron po. Ganun po ang mga ginagamit, mga tools, instruments. And then the interviews, the transcripts will tell you kung motivation na ang na increase.
Ito naman, question pa ba to? Anyway, thank you very much, Miss Annalyn. Very inspiring, according to Rizalanet, no? I would like to ask po, how do you manage the feedbacking considering the number of students you are handling? Any tips on the schedule or routine you do as a teacher or the routine you share to your students? Thank you very much.
Anong routine? Well, nung face-to-face pa kasi, ang journal naman nila weekly eh. Tapos yung scores nila, may folder naman sila eh. So, ini-enter ko lang sa Excel yun. Tapos, I was very fortunate enough to be given student teachers. 2 batch ng student teachers that, yun, nakatulong. I don't know how, if I answered your question, yung sa routine, anong routine to? Yun lang. So, I just did it.
Scheduling, as a teacher lang naman, yung routine na tinatanong.
Siguro dun sa lesson, proper. Maybe, Ma'am Riza, para mas maintindihan kita, i-message ko na lang ako privately mamaya para ma-address ko po yung, yung question.
Very good. That's good.
Or
Yeah.
yung minention mo, Annalyn, at the start, nagkaroon ka ng schedule, and then perhaps yung sticking to the schedule help in creating the routinary practices na capture din ng estudyante. Kasi at the onset, diba, kanina pinakita mo, meron kang schedule. Kailan po chichikin, kailan kayo matatapos.
Opo. Sa folder po nila, bale, meron pong isang page yung po yung schedule nandun. Tapos yung kabilang page po ang badge collection sheet. So that they would know, ito na, makakakuha ko ng plus points kung maaga kong sasubmit to. Yung mga ganun po.
Yung pag nag-grouping ka ba ng, in terms of performance, I think ang isa sa mga ginamit mong technique is, aside from individual, ginawa mong group.
Yeah, madami
instead of checking 40 outputs, naging 10 outputs na lang. Tama?
Opo. Kasi gano'n naman po talagang idea sa DepEd nun eh. Yung laboratory activities po nila, by group naman po. So practically sumunod lang po ako doon. Ang mga individual ko lang po yung mga worksheets po, yung problem solving.
Pero ngayon na gumagamit ka na ng Canvas, na-avoid na yung feedbacking na takes time kasi Canvas already provide immediate feedback.
Yes, ma'am. Immediate feedback po ng system. Kaya love na love ko po yung Canvas na yan. Yan na lang ang love ko.
Okay, pertaining to scheduling also, may I add that sa planning stage, sinasubmit, not sinasubmit, ini-introduce naman sa mga students kung anong gagawin, di ba? Naka-schedule naman. Anyway, so can we use, from Roger Tejada, can we use gamified instruction in traditional teaching? We are using modular approach.
Ayan, very excited ako sagutin yung tanong na yan. Kasi yung title ko po very pang-online eh. Sa totoo lang po, pwede po natin gawa ng paraan. We are flexible. The most flexible individuals po, I think, are teachers. So, kayang-kaya po. Paano po? Yung sa idea ko lang po kasi pwede po nating lagyan ng points yung for every one day na maaga nilang ma-enter yung sagot nila, mapapasa. Hindi ko po alam kung paano po kasi yung proseso na ginagawa ng pag-collecta ng module at pagbibigay ng module sa kanila. Pero we could give points sa mga sasagutan nila. Tapos kung maaga, give extra points. Then, mag-isip pa po ng mga ibang pakulo. But definitely, pwede po ito eh. No? Kaya lang po ay ipiprint natin ang badges. Congratulate natin yung bata. Sisingit po natin doon. Level, ano ka na. Congratulations. Mga ganon.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Annalyn. Coming from John Mark Carion, is the study published somewhere? I would like to read it myself.
Yes, I have 4 publications already. Yung pong published researches ko po ay pwede nyo pong i-google. Sa ano nga lang po, Google Scholar. So, go to the Google Scholar site po. Tapos, yung name ko lang po, i-type nyo po doon. Tapos, alabas po doon lahat ng link.
Tama. Nasa Google sa pag-clinic mo yun, yung article mismo lalabas. Okay. Ay, bakit para kang si Chunelo Saldo Pakiulit po, Ma'am Maricar, anong tests pa ang applicable to see if there is a significant increase of score from pretests and post-tests? Parang
Effect
statistics
size.
neto.
Cohen's D or much better, Hedges G. Ay, lagay ko sa chat.
Okay. So, from Dennis Roy Castor. Good morning po. Actually, I am incorporating po games sa lesson po. I love po your action research.
Na-excite naman ako sa I love you doon.
Ulitin ko para di masamid ulit. I love po, walang you ha. I love po your action research and I would also love to conduct the same type of action research. Ask ko lang po kung gumamit po kayo ng standard assessment tool for measuring motivation or gumawa po kayo ng own tool nyo. I am looking forward po reading your published research.
Gumamit po ako ng standardized. Ano po siya, Physics Motivation Questionnaire by nakalimutan ko yung pangalan, pasensya na po kayo, gutom kasi ako. Gumamit po ako sa paper ko po, sa mga research publications ko, makikita niyo doon yung pangalan.
Nando naman yun.
So I asked permission po from a validated instrument maker po, na gamitin ko yung instrument niya. So yun po.
Okay, Sir Dennis, gumamit siya ng standard assessment tool. Okay?
Meron pa?
Meron pa. Ito, galing kay Renz Alvin Gabay. Do you think gamification is sustainable? Won't the students feel satiation as time goes on?
Meron pong mga studies that said hindi siya nakaka-sustain. May mga studies po. Kaya lang po kasi ang implementation ko po kasi 4 months po kasi yung sa college, hawak ko sa college 4 months po eh. Hindi ko masagot yung tanong na yan because I did not do that. Yung parang isang buong taong yung galon sila. Ang pinakamatagal po ay 4 months kung na-implement. So hindi ko po masagot yung tanong eh.
Yung sensation hindi mo pa masasagot.
Hindi mo pa na-experience yung saturation. Because probably you're the only professor doing it. Masasaturate yung mga estudyante kung lahat kayo nag-gamification.
Sa tingin ko. Kasi may mga estudyante yung nai-stress kapag ganyan eh. Yung mga, kunti lang naman sila. Yung ayaw ng competition.
Yeah. Walang iniwan yan sa di ba? Yung strategy ng portfolio. No? Kung lahat ng teachers magpapa-portfolio, nakaka-umay. So the students will reach saturation.
No, that's the time the students will walk out.
So do you think, in relation to that, Annalyn, do you think gamification will reach a point where it will lose its novelty?
Sa tingin, I'm not really sure if it's gamification na mag-lose ng novelty. Kasi ang paglalaro, yung mga elements ng game, hindi po naluluma eh. Panahon pa ng lola ko, naglalaro na siya. Ngayon, may naglalaro pa rin siya. So, hindi ko alam. Ang lola ko po nag-Candy Crush. Ako, I'm an avid The Sims player. Yun naman po nilalaro ko. Kasi hindi po naluluma para sa akin yung...
Ako rin, naglalaro din ako.
yung binubuhay ko po yung mga tao ko dun, tapos nag-excel sila, bumibili ng bahay, yung gamit. So, hindi ko alam kung maluluma yung elements of game. Maybe yung implementation ng gamification sa classroom. Pwede.
Depende rin sa tao yun.
Or siguro yung if you will provide meaningful learning experiences dun na nakasama dun sa game. So it depends on the seat work, the laboratory activity, if ever it is in the sciences, di ba? So yun siguro pa rin. The differentiated activities will help in sustaining the novelty of gamification in the classroom. That's how I think. Although I'm not a gamer, but I can understand from literature that gaming is actually a big thing.
Game will always be a game.
Any other question, Dr.
Marami pa eh. Okay, from Janiet Rolyan. So, good day, ma'am. I just want to ask which is better to use in the classroom, the gamified learning or GBL?
Ano ba? Kasi hindi po ako kahit kailan nag-focus sa yung ano lang in-isolate ko lang GBL lang o game-based learning lang ginamit ko. Ginagamit ko siya every once in a while pero hindi madalas. I think medyo mas makakasawa sa estudyante kung laro. No? Laro lang, puro laro lang. Tapos, na-drive mo yung concept doon. Siguro once in a while pwede siyang gamitin. Pero hindi ko siya kayang i-sustain. Alam kong hindi ko kakayanin yun kasi internet connection ng estudyante, i-require niya mataas.
Okay.
So, siguro gamification mas madalas kong magagamit.
So another from Val Darrell. Thank you, Miss Tolentino. Val Darrell Anhao. So based on the gamification implementations you had, does grade level or age of students vary on the effectiveness of gamification on the learning process?
Ako, kasi ang napag-implementan ko high school and college eh. May difference po, lalo na sa mga gagamitin nyo po na badges, dapat magkaiba po talaga. And the manner that you will, syempre sa college, hindi po exciting yung ididikit nila. Hindi ko po ginawa yun. Ka-canvas po ako. Kasi hindi siya appropriate na for college. I hope nasagot ko yung tanong.
Yes,
naman,
you have.
Nasagot naman. So here's from Angela Veloso. I once applied gamification to my teaching and I observed that this is effective to students who are academically challenged, but there are students who easily lose interest, especially kung alam nila na there's a large gap para makahabol sila for being achievers. I tried different approaches until to the point I gave that student an easy question for them to catch up. But still, that student shows no interest, as we know that some public school students are satisfied as long as they receive a passing grade. What can you suggest with this situation?
Okay. Sa umpisa po kasi, sa first day ng orientation ng mga estudyante, meron po kaming kasulatan kasi sa isang portion po doon sinasabi that if in case the student at in the middle or at any time during the gamified instruction, umayaw siya, may karapatan po siyang umayaw. Kapag nawalan po ng interes ang bata, pwede po.
Yun.
Tapos po, ang mangyayari po doon is just personalized at teaching and learning po kami. So, tuturuan ko yun, one-on-one kami. With the 2 years na in-implement ko siya, 3 years na, wala naman pong nawala ng interes. Wala naman pong nagpaganon sa akin. So, medyo siguro a-address nyo lang po yung problema ng bata ng time na pwede po kasing may external factor family, so problems. Wala pa po ako na-encounter, ang dami ko na pong in-implementa nito, siguro over 3,000 na estudyante na po.
So parang insight lang dyan is you just have to be ready to, you just have to have alternatives as a teacher. Sabi mo nga kanina, we teachers are very adaptive and flexible. So there is no hard fast rule, sabi mo nga, as you are suggesting. It just depends on how you know your students so that you can adapt the necessary intervention to make that student learn, diba?
So here's another,
Mahirap nga magsabi ng hard fast rule.
nga. So from Mona, Ma'am Annalyn, Mona Earl Bayono. So aside, siguro sa mga RRL mo nabasa, ano mo rin to? Sasagot. Aside from physics, may nakapag-try na ba ng gamification to other subjects? Same output lang ba naging turnout ng result?
Marami po kung makakapagbasa po kayo ng literatures, may mga gumamit po nito sa engineering class nila, piano class, music. Ako ginamit ko din po sa isang batch ko po ng chemistry classes. So, hindi po syempre pare-parehas po ang resulta. Kasi iba-iba po ang pagtanggap ng mga bata dyan talaga Kaya ang action research ko, it's not, yung resulta ng mga action research, hindi pwedeng i-generalize sa lahat. Na
Correct.
It doesn't mean na effective sa klase ko, magiging effective sa inyo. Because that's not really the main goal of action research. It's not meant to to just make a generalization. It's meant to solve a problem. So as long as it solves a problem, kahit
Of
locally
practice.
sa inyo, eh, okay po siyang gawin.
Okay, thank you again, Ms. Annalyn. Here's another from Eric Chandiel, our student from DLSU. Highly interesting study, Ms. Annalyn. May I know if you did identify students who are online gamers or not? I think it would be interesting to contrast their performance and motivation.
Okay. Natanong ko sila sa start ng yung sa orientation, pero dahil kakaunti lang naman yung nagsabing hardcore gamer sila, hindi ko siya pinonsider sa ano ko eh. So maybe in the future, yan, pwede kang gawin yan.
Anyway, in the independent study courses, I think I'm not mistaken if I announce that si Colleen, Miss Colleen Amado is using that particular variable in her study on gamification. So pinasok na yung gaming performance or ability ng estudyante as a possible variable. So how does it affect the students' performance in a
Invite nyo
gamified
na Doc,
classroom?
next siya.
Kasama na sila. So actually, there are 3 of them who are working on gamification aside from Annalyn. There's Kring. Kring, are you
Dito po
here?
yung isa.
Si Kring. Ano rin, may
Kring and Colleen.
bagong variables silang pinasok. And then Colleen Amado, pinasok ni Colleen yung ano eh. So I'll be hearing from them also about their action research experiences. Colleen, is Colleen around?
Wala po, ma'am eh.
Wala. Oo. Kasi ang alam ko, pinasok niya yan eh, yung variable na what if gamer yung estudyante?
Okay.
How do the gamers and the non-gamers benefit from the use of gamified learning? Parang ganun. So, it will be out soon. Hopefully, sa dissertation niya maaano natin. There's somebody who said, nakita na niya yung paper mo. So, I think pinost niya yung link. So, for those of you who are interested, you may copy that. Okay, Dr. Aguha, more questions? We still have time.
We still have 2 here. Good morning po. Since 1 quarter lang po kayo nag-gamify ng classroom ninyo sa cycle 1, how did you determine that there is significant increase in students' achievement? Nag-compare po ba kayo sa last school year's course ng students niyo?
Doc, medyo nag-choppy lang po sa, sorry Doc Pwede po bang paulit?
Since 1 quarter lang po kayo nag-gamify ng classroom ninyo sa cycle 1, how did you determine that there is significant increase in students' achievement? Nag-compare po ba kayo sa last school year's course ng students ninyo?
Pre-test-posttests po ang aking ginawang basihan ng sa achievement, sa performance actually. Hindi ko nga po ginamit yung salitang achievement sa paper ko, but performance. Because what I did just compare is yung performance nila, yung scores nila sa pre-test and post-test, every module. So, 6 yung module. Yun po. Hindi ko po ginamit yung previous year's scores, grades nila kasi hindi nga po achievement talaga yung aking mineasure, kundi performance sa physics class as a grading na yon.
Tama. So, another from MDPS Tagle, clarification on awarding of badges. How did you carry it out in Canvas? Our school uses Phoenix ARAL as LMS.
Sa Canvas po, pinupost ko po siya as a discussion. Para po kasi FB po yun eh. Magpo-post po ako, halimbawa po, ito yung logo. Popost ko yung logo. Congratulations to the following people. They made it to the laboratory technician position.
Level.
Ganun
So,
po.
sa notifications, sa announcement?
Sa discussion doc sa Canvas.
Sa discussion.
Parang FB po ang dating nun eh. Parang status. So makikita ng mga estudyante, nagpa-congrats po sila doon. Nag-aasaran din.
So if Phoenix ARAL has that picture also, they can do that, no?
Meron daw po.
Ano na lang nila, ang tawag dito?
Forum feature sila sa ARAL links.
Explore
Pwede
nila.
i-apply.
May forum feature kami sa ARAL. So doon nga.
Oo.
Okay, I think that's the last
Okay.
question. Thank you very much, Miss Annalyn.
Welcome po.
Regards
Yeah.
kay Lola.
Thank you
Sige
very
po,
much,
makakarating.
Angie. So I think at this point, we would like to give you our certificate of
Salamat.
appreciation for accepting this invitation to share with us your time and expertise in the conduct of action research relative to your topic, which is gamification in the teaching of physics. So allow me to read the certificate. De La Salle University, Brother Andrew Gonzalez, FSC, College of Education, otherwise known as BAGCED, De La Salle Institute for Development and Educational Research, or LEADER, and Action Research, Action Learning, ARAL, present the certificate of appreciation to Ms. Annalyn N. Tolentino for conducting the DLSU BAGCED LEADER ARAL online lecture series entitled Gamifying Online Classes in the New Normal, held on November 16, 2020, 10 a.m. to 12 noon via Zoom. Signed, Dr. Raymond C. Season, the Dean of BAGCED, Dr. Shirley N. Vita, the Director of LEADER, and yours truly as the Congress Chair of ARAL 2020. Again, thank you very much for sharing with us your precious time and experiences and your insights to help the participants gain a better understanding and appreciation of action research. Thank you, Annalyn.
Welcome po.
Let's give her a virtual clap. Okay, so as practice in this charm session, I'd like to invite you to answer the evaluation. Miss Liz will post the evaluation, the link for the evaluation. Kindly make time for it. Again, thank you for participating in our charm series. We'll see all of you again, hopefully on Monday, for another interesting session on how, this time focusing on how to convince other teachers or teachers, no, in general, to do action research in a particular school setting. Also, before I leave the meeting room, again, my heartfelt thanks to Miss Annalyn Tolentino for sharing with us her time and insights. And you've, I'm very happy, Annalyn, that you have
Thank you
learned
po.
the principles and processes of action research.
Because of you, Doc.
Tuwa ako, no? Na-internalize mo na. No? So that's very, very gratifying on our part as your teachers, no? And mentors. So anyway, thanks everyone for coming, and let's pray for those who have been, and if we can donate, help those people who have been affected by the recent floods and typhoon, and hopefully we will not experience the same thing in the coming weeks, no? Especially that we are nearing the Christmas season. No? See you all on Monday. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Doc.